Majima is great, but in Yakuza Kiwami, he is everywhere. He's in the trash, he's in the cones, he's in the manholes, he's in the jar, he's in your car, and he's from afar. You know that green orb your grandma gave you? That was Majima too. Now, when I say he's everywhere, I mean that's the whole gimmick of Kiwami. Ever since Kiryu got out of jail, Majima is desperately trying to fight him. But since Kiryu says he won't be able to fight without a reason, well, he's kind of like the fun friend. So his way of keeping Kiryu on his toes is just being everywhere. So he tends to always get in the way of things. Like, I'm just trying to take cute pictures of Kiryu's back, and then Majima's there.
Why?
So I go to use humanity's most mighty power, walking on the street. And he's there! Try to go bowling, he's there! Order a bento, he's there! Gotta fight him, the bento is cold now! Looking at magazines? He's there! Fights don't come cheap, so I'm gonna have to make him pay tax. He invented the tax! I can't even break the law properly because he is all the police! Eventually, Kiryu gives up on it all and decides to become an alcoholic. But he was there too! Now, usually this would be horrible, but it's Majima, so it's the best. I mean, who wouldn't love this little idiot sandwich? I mean, he did this whole bit where he convinced Kiryu he was in a zombie apocalypse like The Walking Dead.
Oh, no.
And also got the Majima family to join in on it too. That was until Kiryu started asking if zombies can do whatever the hell that is. But seriously, Majima has to be the most fun character to ever exist. So I ended up making it my duty to find every single spot that he could be in and do tons of fun stuff with him. So you can imagine my dismay when this was my activity for the next hour, studying what my next move would be. And then when I finally did make up my mind, based on where the game tells me it's safe to shoot.
Oh, no.
Even going places like Smile Burger, he's there. You know, you wouldn't expect to find him here, but he says junk food is the source of his power, so who am I to judge? But moving on to the next encounter I had with him. Not that one. That one was just another fight. I'm not talking about the darts. Although I do like darts.
Okay.
One of Majima's guys called up Kiryu, and Kiryu was not too happy about it. So I show up, and lo and behold, Majima's doing the dance from Yakuza 0, and Kiryu's first reaction is to roast him. Even so, it's so mesmerizing, Kiryu can't take his eyes off him. So he ends up beating the hell out of him and breaking his ankle. And speaking of doing nothing wrong, Kiryu just wants to play a completely normal card game. And then Majima shows up, catching him in the act, and says, "Shame on you!" And Kiryu's defense is, and I quote, "This is a wholesome game, where good insects fight bad ones to maintain peace in the forest." Majima's reply to that is, well, "That's not what I see!" And Kiryu says, "Well, I suppose you would think that." Of course, this too led to a fight. Somehow, it seems that nothing about their friendship is normal. Even when they're talking through a batting center, it's through net. When, "Kiryu, you could literally step to the right about 3 inches, and this would be normal, but no!" I also just can't help but realize how childish their conversations are. Like, Kiryu gets kidnapped by Majima pretending to be a taxi driver, and he tells Kiryu he won't drive him back until he gets a fight. And the only thing Kiryu has to say is, "I can call a real taxi to fix that problem. You know I have a cell phone now." I have to interrupt this video for a moment because I just got some breaking news. I honestly had no idea Majima was dating Cinderella, but I guess it's canon now.
No, what? How? What?
Anyways, back to my previous point about their childish conversations. Even though their conversations are childish, their fights are still very aggressive.
That's the game!
And speaking of fighting, I got a call from one of Majima's guys saying that there's a mysterious man, and if he appears before you, he will take your soul. Kiryu just ruined it. Turns out, Majima is trying to add a horror aspect to things, and even though he has an eye patch on the very same eye, and the same shoes, and the same suit he used earlier as a bartender, Kiryu is still genuinely terrified.
Oi. Nani?
Wait.
And afterwards, Kiryu is like, "What's the meaning of this? Explain yourself, you creepy little guy!" And he just wobbles away. And as for my next encounter with him, I needed to grind fighting people in the Colosseum to get to the ladder ranks, and suffer from being shot by a senior citizen, then damage the senior citizen. And after that, then and then only, was I able to fight Majima in the Colosseum. On a side note, for anyone who wants to 100% Majima everywhere like me, don't stress out about how long it takes to level up in the Colosseum. Just get to the breakout GP map, switch to the easy difficulty, and just make them do a little goofy slip into the never-ending pit of hell. Speaking of grinding, I also had to grind spawn areas for Majima, which wouldn't have been bad aside from the fact that every 2 seconds there's people who are trying to fight me, and it got really frustrating it sometimes. Like, I literally bumped into him and he just, where are you going? But a type of grind that was more fun than randomly encountering Majima buggying, or finding him in a manhole, or even finding him in a traffic cone, and then putting him back in the traffic cone, was Pocket Circuit. Pocket Circuit is a little game where you get to customize your car to work the best on the said racing track, and Kiryu takes it very seriously. Loss is a devastation to him. In fact, he takes it so seriously that when Majima shows up, he's begging him not to mess up anything, and saying, "Just go outside and I will fight you." And Majima's like, "I don't want to fight, I want to play with the cars, Lightning McQueen's my hero!" Which brings us to a fun little Majima racing minigame. Although, when I won, it was revealed that he was upset because he had been practicing every day, which kind of made me feel like an antagonist for him just wanting to hang out and dance with me, and I'm just beating him for it. But before I know it, I get a call from Majima saying it's time for one more fight. This one's gonna be the final one, so if I give it any less than my all, I'm gonna die. So, after maxing out all of my abilities, everything came down to this. It was time to prove to Majima that I was no longer rusty as he thought I once was. after all that, he says he's still gonna follow me around the place anyway, cause it's fun. But, as a reward, I did get Majima's knife, which had some pretty wacky finishers. And aggressive ones. I'm sorry, Majima. But yeah, I 100%ed everything on the Majima Everywhere list, which was a bit of a difficult grind, but hey! I was determined to do so. And when you really put your mind to something, you'll get it done. I guarantee. As long as you're determined to do it, it will get done. And plus, it was just fun to see all these encounters with Majima. It always makes me happy to see him. And you're kind of depriving yourself of the Yakuza Kiwami experience to not do Majima Everywhere, at least a little bit. But yeah, with all that said, I'm gonna leave this video here. So take care of yourselves, have a decent day, and stay determined. Out of the way.